Hi, this is Chris Slogar from Buckeye Inklings. You can visit me online at buckeyeinklings.com, and today I would like to show in this video a card that I posted there a while ago. I've been getting some interest in, and I think it's something that really needs to be shown in a video. It's a card in a box, which is not a new concept, but I haven't seen a video made with the dimensions I'm showing, and I really like these dimensions, and I'll tell you why as we move along. But this is the featured project. If you go to my site, you'll see this in the top right corner. It's a card in a box which comes, like, it folds flat, so it's really awesome that you can mail it as long as you don't put too much dimensional stuff on it. But then it opens up into this beautiful, oops, my tree got twisted. This beautiful 3D project, and I'm laying it down on my table so that the camera, which is overhead, can see it. But this is the top view of it. You can see the elements sit on these dividers. And I learned this on Split Coast Stampers. There's a great video there, which will be very similar to mine, I'm sure. And they show some variations for different card sizes. We were making this a lot in the spring in the A2 card size vertical, which is this, and it also folds flat. All of these fold flat to fit in an A2 envelope, which is really great, and as long as there is not too much bling, buttons, or anything, they fold flat and they're great to mail. So there's also a variation on that site for A2 horizontal. In their variation, though, the box, this portion of the box is very square, so it sticks out more and it's square. And I liked this rectangular shape, so I'm going to show you that today. And this is a case, actually, of a card I saw on our demo website by Debbie McGee. I loved her card. Hers was also with Holiday Home and the Festival of Trees. But hers was a Thanksgiving card. But anyway, just want to show you this exactly, and also if you need to order any supplies, this featured project on my blog is the card. I will send you a completed Holiday Home card in a box just like this if you order $35 online with me. Just use the Shop Now button, and I will also send you a base in crumb cake to make this card, and you'll see how this works in the video. But that way you will have a base to decorate and make so that your first trial at home will be really easy with just the fun decorating portions for you to do. So without further ado, let me tell you that the base dimension for the box is a piece of cardstock 4 inches by 12 inches. And my modification has this just a little shorter than a normal 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card, because I like that you can get 3 of these from one sheet of 12 by 12. So that's how I picked that and went with that. All right, so you take your 4 by 12 cardstock and you score it at 2, 5 1/2, 7 1/2, and 11. And then you turn it and you score it down the length at 2. Okay, and while I have my scoring tool out, I'm also going to show you these divider pieces that hold up the houses, or whatever decorations you're putting in, are 2 strips that are 1 inch wide. And oh, please don't curse me, but the length is 4 11/16. Okay, I'm sorry about the 16th. It just really helps to have a dimension that will tuck in just a little smaller than the box dimension. It's fine. It'll work fine. Just score these then at 5/8 on each side. Okay. Nobody wants to figure out what 4 11/16 minus 5/8 is. Just take that and flip it around, score both sides at 5/8. Okay? You need 2 of those. So again, score at 5/8 5/8, and I'm really sorry about the 16th measurement. Nobody likes that, I know. All right, so I'm going to put my scoring board away and get my trimmer, because the next step is to cut the flaps in the box. In this case, it's very helpful to have a trimmer that has a little pointy tool instead of a rotary blade. The great thing about our trimmer is that it has both. It comes with this blade, but you can add a rotary blade. But you'll see, to start and stop at precise points, you really need this little pointer, so that I put my score line in the groove of the cutting groove, and I'm going to cut the top 2 inches of each one of these box flaps. And I'm going to just say this: I like to use my blade in both directions, because then I'm getting wear on both sides of my blade. So that's a little tip. I know these blades are two-sided, so you can get that benefit from both sides. Okay, so far I'm here, and what I'm going to do is trim to make a little tab here. And this is your box shape. This is the base. All right, so far so good. Now, I have one that I've stamped with my fun Christmas trees from Cheerful Tags. This is a great, cute little set. But anyway, I've already stamped that so that it will be there on the card. I did a lot of the easy steps ahead of time, so I don't bore you with that. Once you have the base, you will want to decorate it. Now, the trees are going to be on the outside of the box. The flaps will flip down from the inside. I'm going to decorate the inside with my designer paper. This designer paper is from the Trim the Tree stack, and I picked the colors for this project to go with this paper. You could use, honestly, any of these papers on this box. They're cherry cobbler, and they bring out the garden green and the espresso that I've used. So I'm gonna do something different from this sample, which had this pretty light snowflake pattern, and I'm gonna use the darker color this time, and you'll see how great it is either way. Okay, so I'm just putting my designer paper pieces onto the flaps. The designer paper pieces measure 1 7/8 by 3 3/8. Okay, so 2 flaps are in those dimensions. The other 2 flaps are square 1 7/8. That's that one. And this one. Okay, and then the other thing you need to do to get your base ready is on the outside on this tab, we're going to put down sticky strip. Okay, and I am going to get the base put together. I'm going to fold it in half here, fold this tab over, and press my base together nicely here, and also score on the other corners. Now, you don't, I'm going to keep the tab in the back of the box, and I'm not going to fold this flap down. The other flaps I am folding and scoring, or I'm sorry, you know, going over with the bone folder. Can't think. Anyway, there's the box base for you. Now, all that's left before we decorate is to put in these great dividers that we created. And once again, sticky strip here and here. You can do a neater job of this, but I want this video to be a reasonable length so you're not with me all day. To apply these dividers, I'm just going to fold. Now, I am going to place one in the back of the box with the little tabs pointing to the back. And what I'm going to do is set one side firmly in place. And then I'm going to kind of lightly put the other side in place, but then fold my box and press it hard to create that nice divider. Now see, this divider stays nice and straight because we did take off that 1/16 inch in this dimension. So instead of the divider being 3.5 inches long like our box, it's 1/16 shorter. And otherwise, you might get some funny warping on your divider, and you don't want that. So here we go with the other one. And this is going in the front of the box. Again, fold these down, and I'm pointing for the front of the box, the little tabs towards the front. And again, I'm going to set one side nice and tight in here. And the other one I'm going to kind of lightly put in place, but force with a hard press here. Okay, that is the box construction. That is the hard part, which was not that hard, I think you'll agree. Now it's all about decorating, and I have these pieces ready to go. You can decorate how you want. I have a lot of fun pieces from the holiday catalog to put in this box, but again, do what you have. I've already embossed with white the house pieces I'm going to use, and I've cut 7 trees from Festival of Trees. I stamped and cut them, and I even applied these snowflakes. I would normally do this at the end as I'm finishing my decorations, but in the interest of time for this video, I knew where I was going to want them, and I put them in place already. So I am just going to start applying these pieces to my box. And you have a little extra 1/4 inch here that pieces can stick out of the box if you want, because we have only cut this dimension as 4 inches. So you've got an extra 1/4 inch in your envelope, so you feel free to use that. I am going to put some trees in. I'll be a little high. And then I'm going to pop some things up on dimensionals to make it more fun. Here's the Blackberry Bliss house. I'm going to set in the back here. I use tweezers all the time. I don't know if anyone else does that, but it's just really helpful to place these things. Otherwise my fingers are so big and can't get them in these tight spaces. Let's see, I'm going to put, now a critical thing about this when you're adhering pieces, on the back the whole surface is available to stick to. When you get to, say, we're going to put this house in on this little divider, you have to be very careful that you're only putting adhesive on the part of the house that will touch the divider. Okay, so I'm putting this in on the divider. I've only got adhesive on the bottom of the house, and then I'm pressing that into place there. And you just need to make sure the adhesive does not go beyond the divider. Otherwise, when you fold this all flat, your box is going to stick shut. All right, I'm going to get another dimensional. Let's see. I'm going to put that here on this tree and locate the tree kind of behind my house with a little dimension. Okay, and let's see. I've got another tree. As you're attaching things, now this tree, I'm just going to tack in over here. I use the glue pen because it's a little bit forgiving if you need to move it. Okay, I've got that tree in there. And my early espresso house, I'm putting on the first divider. And this is getting interesting already, isn't it? To make this cute little scene. And I am going to, again, it's hard to figure out where exactly you might want the dimensional on your tree, so it's easier sometimes to put the dimensional on the divider, and that way you know it's in the right place and it's not going to stick beyond the divider and stick your box shut. Okay, so we're getting there pretty quickly here. Oh, I am one tree short. Okay, well, we'll get the idea. I'm going to, I've got a big surface up here to adhere trees to, so I'm just going to put this tree up front. I'm not going to take the time. I'm missing a tree that I placed on a dimensional behind this tree. I'm not going to take the time to make that now, but I will show you for my greeting. On the front, I have the cherry cobbler ribbon, which I'm just going to stick down with a bit of sticky strip. And I'll show you how to apply these loops of baker's twine, which are so popular. You see them everywhere. I'm going to cut this flush with the edge there. All right, and then I want to add some great baker's twine to the front of the box. I am just going to put down a couple of glue dots where my tree is going to hide them. And then take my baker's twine and make some nice random loops that just hit those glue dots. See so much of this right now, it's really easy to do. Get the idea here. Okay, and I'm going to trim the extra baker's twine off. Okay, so I got those fun little loops, and then I have this already with the snowflake. These snowflakes are from the Snowflake Thinlit flip card. They are really fun, pretty, lacy. I did them in glimmer paper, and it's easier to cut from glimmer paper for one thing. Oh shoot, let me get the greeting. I'm talking, I'm not thinking. But anyway, those are really fun. I have a greeting, let's see, I did From Our Home to Yours at Christmas time before. I have Thinking of You at Christmas this time. I love this hexagon punch. I keep it by my side to cut all these flag ends. You can see I'm just going straight in from the side, locating that little corner at halfway down my strip, and right away I have my tab. Okay, let me get this stuck to the back of the tree before I put the tree on. I can just trim off the excess there, and you can see this coming together. I'm going to put this in place. I'm going to try to get my dimensionals. I'm just going to use a little piece of dimensional here so that it misses the baker's twine, so we don't get too much bulk. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, missing one tree. I would like to add a tree there. But there you have the idea and the construction of this pop-up box card. A trick about these, when you're considering how to decorate, you can see, for instance, that my trees stick out beyond the 3.5-inch width. You always just need to make sure the elements can fold flat under this shape. Well, in this case, mine stick out about 1/4 inch, but that's okay. But just as you're loading your elements into the box, and it's not very critical on this card, make sure it can fold that way. So if you'd like to put it in an envelope, you'll be able to. In other cases, let me just show you this one, which is if you get this crumb cake base, you could easily make this card. Same thing, folds flat. In this case, I wanted this cupcake to pop up higher than the box, and you can see here it seems like it's floating over the top of the box, and this piece is done the same way. It looks like it's floating. There's a 1/2-inch strip of window sheet here that's going from the divider to the back of the cupcake, just applied with glue dots. Now, in our Christmas box, we didn't need to suspend any things like that, but as you're decorating these boxes, if you want some items sticking up higher, that's the way to do it. And then the window sheet is a nice firm piece of acetate that'll hold that up and you can't see it. So here's another example. We have many examples from I have some posted on my site too that we did in the spring. This is the A2 card going the other direction. But again, pieces that stick up, you can use window sheets. I'm just trying to give you some ideas, and that way if you want to take this idea and decorate with something else. Here's a little easier, only 3 elements sticking up here. These elements are also on window sheets. So you can have fun with this, decorate it how you like, and I hope you enjoy it. I think that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me, and if you have any questions, please leave them for me, and otherwise, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.